Dear students, welcome to the science class. In the last class, we were discussing about the topic that is nothing but motion, and we are solving the exercise questions. After 5 questions, we discussed about the up to 5 questions. Today, we are going to discuss further questions which are there in your exercise. So that we are going to discuss the sixth question today, sixth and seventh question as well as possible eighth question also. That is nothing but sixth question. Given as figure 8.11 shows the distance time graph of the objects A, B and C. Right? Study the graph and answer the following questions. Right? In the problem statement they say that figure 8.11 shows the distance time graph of three objects. Of three objects, those are nothing but A, B and C. We have to study the graph and answer the following questions. So that graph is given like this. This is not that accurate. You should check your textbook so that you can accurately calculate the distances which are given in your textbook. So that it is not possible to draw all the boxes which are present in your textbook. So that is general diagram which is given in your textbook as graph. So that while solving these questions, study your graph. I am going to solve these questions using this graph only. You should see your graph and study that graph and try to solve the questions which are given in your textbook. Right? You have to study this graph. By using this graph, you have to solve these questions. 4 questions. That is nothing but first question. A question in the sixth question. A question. Which of the three traveling fastest? Which of the three traveling fastest? Is it A traveling fastest or B traveling fastest or C traveling fastest? We have to calculate it. Right? When you see the graph, how we are going to find out the speed of any vehicle or speed of any object by using the distance time graph? How we are going to find out you are going to find out the speed of any object? By using the slope. Right? If we try to draw the slope here for all the three, try to draw the slope for all the three objects, that is nothing but A, B and C, and try to find out the speeds there. Or else you can do what? You can do that to find out the speeds here. What will be the maximum speed? How are you going to calculate the maximum speed here? If the time taken is less and distance covered is more, then we can say that the speed of that object will be maximum. The speed of the object that will be maximum. When you study that graph, when you see the A1, first A thing. Right? When you compare this side is distance and this side is time. When you compare the A with B and C, A is covering this much distance, like this, up to this point. Right? For covering this much distance, how much time it is taking? It is taking much more time than the B and C. Right? To cover this much distance, it is taking more time. When you try to analyze the graph. Right? In the same manner, C is also covering the distance, more distance, but comparatively, it is taking more time than the B. It is taking more time than the B. C or B is taking 1.6 hours only for covering nearly 12 kilometers. In the same manner, C is covering 12 kilometers, so taking more than 1.6 hours. It may be more than 2.4. Right? If time is more, distance covered is less, then we can say that the speed of that object will be less. In the same manner, the distance covered is more, the time taken is less, we can say that the speed of that object will be more. In the same manner, use a graph sheet, draw this questions there, and try to find out the slope of each of these things, each of the A, B and C object. When you try to find those things, you are going to get the answer of the B as the fastest. The speed of the B will be the fastest. Why? The time taken is less, but distance covered is more. Either you can solve like this, the total distance covered divided by time, one condition, or you can find out the speed by using the slope of this graph. Right? Slope is nothing but we can draw the slope like this. Therefore, speed will be what? Speed will be this divided by this. So that in this way you can find out the speed. So then by studying the graph, our first answer for the A question. For A question, what will be the answer? The answer will be what? B will be the fastest. B object is the fastest. B object is the fastest. Right? There are two methods by using this total total distance covered divided by total time taken. You can use this formula or you can draw this slope for these lines so that you can going to get the speeds. Right? All the lines are not possible to draw on your in this board, so that I am going to just generalize the question which is given in your textbook. Now next we are going to see the answer for the B question. Answer for the B question, what it is? Are all three ever on the same point on the road? Are all three ever on the same point on the road? They are going to be same point on the road, on a road. All three objects, is it possible that these all the three objects will be on the same point of the road? Is it possible? Right? When you see these things here, when you see the graph for C, A, B and A, when you see the graph for B and A, they are intersecting at this point. They are intersecting here at this point. What does mean? What does it mean? It means that B and A are at the same point after the time 1.2 hours. After the time 1.2 hours, after the covering distance of nearly 10 kilometers, they will be at same point. What are they? A and B will be at the same point because of the intersection of the A and B. In the same manner, B and C and A will be also in the same point at the point this point because A and C intersecting there. So there we can say that they will be A and C will be on the same point on the road after this time. After this much time, after covering this much distance. In the same manner, C and B will be at the same point after the, if you take this value here 0.6 hours, after the 0.6 hours, after the covering distance of 5 kilometers, they will be at same point. They will be at the same point. How we are going to say that they will be same point? If all the objects of the lines of the graphs of all the objects, if they are intersecting at the same point, then only we can say that they are at a same point on the road. Right? If they are not intersecting at the same point, when you see all the three objects, they are intersecting at the same point? No. They are intersecting at the different points. B and C are intersecting at different point. A and C are intersecting at different point. In the same manner, A and B are intersecting at different point. But together, A and B and C are not intersecting at any point. If they are not intersecting at any point, that what it means? That means they are not will be on the same point on a road. They will be not on the same point on the road. So that answer will be what? The answer will be no. The answer will be no. In the same way, if in this graph only, if all the three objects are intersecting at a point only, let it be this point. A is also passing through this point. B is also passing through this point. C is also passing through this point. That means we can say that they will be on the same point on a road. What will be the point? That point will be this one. We have to calculate the distance which is on that point. All the three lines are passing. So then in this case it is not possible. It is not possible. Next we are going to find out the C answer. I hope this is clear. Right? All the three intersecting at the same point, then only we can say that they are passing on the road. They are intersecting at will be on the same point of that road. If they are not intersecting, so then we can say that they are not on the same point of that road. I hope this is clear. Now C question. How far C has traveled when B passes A? How far C has traveled when B passes A? Where does B passing A? C here. B passing the A here at this point. At this point. At this point B is passing A. In the same manner, it is going to cover this much distance at this point. How far C has traveled when B passes A? B is passing A at this point. So then what we have to calculate? We have to calculate at this point of time. At this point of time, the distance traveled by the C. The distance traveled by the C will be what? The time will be same here. At this point when we have to calculate the distance traveled. So that when we plot those things, when you plot the dotted line here, when you plot the dotted line here, it is going to give the distance traveled by the C at this point of time when B is passing the A. When B is passing the A, we have to calculate the distance traveled by the C. What it will be? It will be equal to, when you check your graph in your textbook, or when you draw that graph in your book, when you check your graph, the value will be how much? It will be equal to 5.714 kilometer. 5.714 kilometers. How it is coming? When you check the number of boxes which are present in your textbook, that is nothing but for the kilometer. For the purpose of this direction, this side on y-axis, when you calculate the number of boxes, it is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Right? That is nothing but 7 boxes. 7 boxes equal to how much kilometers? The unit. The scale is taken here. 7 boxes constitute 4 kilometers. And again 7 boxes constitute to how much kilometers? 8 kilometers. When you check these things, 4 kilometers equal to how much? It is equal to 7 boxes. When you check your graph, 4 kilometers equal to 7 boxes. Right? If you take the scale in the graphs only, we are going to take the 1 centimeter equal to 1 unit. But in your textbook, in the graph, the problem statement, they are given 7 boxes or 7 lines. That 7 boxes or 7 lines equal to how much? It is equal to 4 kilometers. So that 1 box equal to how much? 1 box equal to how much? It will be equal to 4 divided by 7 kilometers. 1 box, the small box, 1 box equal to how much? It is equal to 4.7 kilometers. That is nothing but the scale of the given problem statement in your graph. Right? When you calculate the identify the number of boxes at point of this point of time. Try to calculate those things in your textbook. When you calculate the number of boxes at this point of time, how much they will be if you calculate those things here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There are 11 boxes. 11 boxes at the point being 11, 12. If correctly check those things, at this time, the number of boxes will be how much? It will be equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. The number of boxes is equal to how much? It is equal to 15. Right? They are equal to 15. If we check the time being there, right? When you accurately calculate the number of boxes when this B passes A, the number of the boxes at this point will be how much? From this y-axis it will be equal to 13.5. They are equal to 13.5. That can be written as 27 divided by 2. 27 divided by 2 boxes are covered when B passes A in case of C. Now, if one box equal to 4 divided by 7 kilometers, therefore 27 divided by 2 boxes equal to how much? It will be multiplied by 4 divided by 7. It will be equal to 4 divided by 7. So that 1 box equal to 4 divided by 7 kilometers. In the same manner, 27 divided by 2 boxes equal to how much? It will be multiplied by the 4 by 7. So that 2 ones are 2 twos are is equal to how much? It is equal to 54 divided by 7. 54 divided by 7 kilometers. When you calculate those things, 7 ones are 7 sevens are 49. 7 sevens are 49. Remainder remains 5. So that it becomes 50. So that for that reason 7 sevens again how much? It is equal to 49. So that the value of the answer will be equal to how much? It is equal to 7.77 kilometers. It is equal to 7.7 kilometers. So that this answer is wrong. We can say that the answer will be how much? It will be equal to 7.714 kilometers. 7.714 kilometers. That is nothing but when B passes A, C has covered the distance of 7.714 kilometers. So what we have to do? We have to calculate the number of boxes in between 0 to 4. So that we are going to calculate the one box equal to how much kilometers? One box equal to 4 by 7 kilometers. If we calculate the number of boxes while B passes A, at that time C has covered 13 by 2 boxes. That is nothing but 13 and a half boxes. If it is covered 13 and a half boxes, what will be the value of 13 and a half boxes? It is equal to 13 and a half into the 4 by 7. So that one box equal to 4 by 7. They are covered 13 and a half boxes. So that into 13 and a half, it is going to give the value of 7.71 kilometers. 7.714 kilometers. So the answer for the question is equal to how much? It is equal to C. It is equal to 7.714 kilometers. Try to calculate those things accurately. Right. The last question. That is nothing but D question. What is that D question? D question is nothing but how far B has travelled by the time it passes C. How far B has travelled at the distance when it passes the C. So we will take that B is passing C here. B is passing C here. After this time, we have to take time for the purpose of calculating the distance. We are going to take this in this side. Right? We have to calculate this distance. So that again, one box equal to how many kilometers? If you remember, one box equal to 4 by 7 kilometers. 4 by 7 kilometers, and we have to calculate the number of boxes at point of intersection. So that when you calculate those things, number of boxes, when you check the number of boxes here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It is exactly 9 boxes. Right? It is 9 boxes. 9 boxes are covered while B is passing the C at this point. So that one box equal to 4 by 7 kilometers. 9 boxes it is going to cover after the passing the C. So that to find out the answer, that is nothing but 4 by 7 into 9. 4 by 7 into 9. So that one box equal to 4 by 7. The value for the 9 box will be equal to how much? It will be equal to 4 by 7 into 9. So then 4 9s are 36 divided by 7. 7 1s are 7 5s are 35. Remainder 1 point. It will become 10. So then 7 1s are 7. Remainder remains 3. That becomes how much? It will become 30. 7 4s are 28. So then the answer for the last question is equal to 5.14 kilometers. The answer for the last question is equal to how much? It is equal to 5.14 kilometers. That is nothing but B has been travelled 5.14 kilometers by the time it passes C. By the time it passes C, it is going to cover 5.14 kilometers. In the same manner, C is going to cover 7.714 kilometers by the time B is going to pass the A. So these are the answers for the sixth question. I hope this is clear. Everything clear about how to find out those things. So that here what we have to do, we have to calculate the first distance covered for one box, and then we have to calculate what is given in the question. So that according to that question, we have to mark those values and we have to find out the answers. Right? I hope this is clear. Next we are going to solve the seventh question. Right? Next question is seventh question. That is nothing but a ball has gently dropped from a height of 20 meters. If its velocity increases uniformly at the rate of 10 meters per second, with what velocity will it strike the ground? After what time it will going to strike the ground? In the problem statement, they are given a ball. They are given a ball which is dropped from a height of 20 meters. Right? And it is moving with uniform velocity. It is moving with uniform velocity as well as it is moving with the rate of 10 meters per second. That is nothing but the acceleration of that ball which is moving in the downward direction. In this case, what we have to calculate? We have to calculate the velocity of that ball which is moving with uniform velocity. We have to calculate that velocity. As well as what we have to calculate? We have to calculate the time taken for the reaching that ball to the ground. We have to find out the time taken for that ball to reach that ground. At what time it is going to strike the ground. So then, if we take this problem here, it is given as a ball has gently drop from the height of 20 meter. So that the problem statement is given the height of 20 meters. Right? If velocity increases uniformly at the rate of 10 meter per second square, what is given? They are given the acceleration of that ball. They are given the acceleration of that ball. That is nothing but 10 meter per second square. With what velocity? What we have to find out is what velocity will it strike the ground. That is nothing but we have to calculate the final velocity. We have to calculate the final velocity. After what time it will strike the ground? We have to calculate the time taken for this striking the ground by that ball. So that if I take a ball here, this is the ground. We are going to get the ball here at a distance of how much? It is equal to 20 meters. We are going to gently drop the ball. So that before dropping the ball, what will be the velocity of that ball? We are holding that ball. We are not in a, we are still yet haven't dropped that ball. What will be the velocity at that point before the dropping that ball? It will be at rest position, so that the velocity of that ball will be how much? It is equal to 0. Why? At rest position there will be no movement. If there is no movement, the velocity of that ball will be equal to 0. So that initially the velocity will be how much? It is equal to 0 at this point. Right? When you drop that ball, the ball is going to cover how much distance? It is going to cover 20 meters. So that height of the ball can be given as the total distance covered by that ball. Right? Height of the ball. From where we are going to drop that ball, that can be taken as what? That can be taken as the total distance covered. So that is equal to how much? It can be taken as 20 meters. That is nothing but the height of the ball. It is going to move this much distance. The same as in the problem statement, they are given the 20 meter per second square as the acceleration. So that what we have to find out? We have to find out the velocity of that ball at this point. At the strike of that ball, striking the ground. At this point, we have to calculate the velocity of that ball. That is nothing but v equal to question mark. At this point, the velocity will be the final velocity. In the same manner, time taken for that ball from moving from this point to this point we have to calculate. So that what we are going to write down the given data. That is nothing but what they are given here. They are given first initial velocity of the ball. They are given the initial velocity of the ball. Initial velocity of the ball. Before dropping, that is nothing but before dropping the velocity. Before dropping that ball. So that is nothing but u equal to how much? It is equal to given as 0 meter per second. Which is given as 0 meter per second. That is nothing but it is at rest position. So then the initial velocity will equal to how much? It is equal to 0 meter per second. In the same manner, distance covered by that ball. Distance covered by that ball is equal to how much? It is equal to height of the ball. Height of the ball. Height of the ball from where? From where it is dropped. From where it is dropped. That is nothing but it is going to cover this much distance only. So that nothing but height of the object will be, height of that ball will be is equal to total distance covered by that ball. So that is given as s equal to how much? It is equal to 20 meters. Right? In the same manner, what they are given? They are given the s equal to acceleration of the ball. They are given. That is nothing but sorry, it is 10 meter per second square. Acceleration of the ball. Acceleration of the ball is equal to how much? It is equal to a equal to 10 meter per second square. A equal to 10 meter per second square. Here you can ask a question here. Right? In the previous question, we have thrown the ball vertically in the upward direction. In the previous class, we discussed a question there. A ball is vertically thrown in the upward direction. Right? Then we have taken the acceleration as negative. That is nothing but minus 10 meter per second square. But in this case, we are going to take the acceleration as the positive value. Why that is different in that problem in this problem? When you throw the ball in a vertical direction, the acceleration due to gravity, there is a gravitational force which is going to come here. Power Earth gravitational force is going to attract that ball towards the Earth. Right? That value is nothing but 10 meter per second square. If I throwing the ball vertically vertically, it is going in the opposite direction to the gravitational force. That is nothing but acceleration due to gravity is acting in the opposite direction to the this movement of the ball. For that reason, we are taking the value there as negative. But in this case, we are dropping the ball from the 20-meter height towards the earth only. Right? We are dropping the ball from the 20 meters height towards the earth only. So that gravitational force of the earth is pulling the ball towards it, as well as the movement of the ball is also towards the earth. So that both the directions are in the same direction. If both are in the same direction, at that point of time you are going to take the acceleration, which is what? Acceleration will be the positive value. So that reason here acceleration will go on, it will be equal to positive value. For that reason here we are going to take A equal to 10 meter per second square as the positive value. Right? Next, what you have to find out? We have to find out the final velocity of the ball. We are going to find out the final velocity of the ball. That is nothing but V equal to question mark. In the same manner, what we have to find out? We have to find out the time taken for the ball. We have to find out the time taken for the ball. Time taken for the ball to strike the ground. To strike the ground. At what time it is going to strike that ground? That is nothing but that t equal to question mark. So that first we are going to find out the what? We are going to find out the final velocity of the ball. So then we know that equation. That is nothing but, if you remember the equation for the position and velocity. Position and velocity. So that we are going to give the equation as 2as equal to v square minus u square. We are going to give that equation as 2as equal to v square minus u square. So that here we have all the values we have that. Here they are given in the problem statement A. Also they are given the s value. Also they are given the u value. So that we are going to find out the v value. Either you can take the equation as s equal to ut plus half et square. That equation is also correct, but in that equation we don't know the value of the time taken, so that we cannot consider that equation for the solution of this problem. So that we are going to take this equation only, this formula only. Right? If you want to use the s equal to ut plus half et square, but the time is not given in this problem, for that reason we are not going to use that equation. And there is no value of v, so that we are directly going to take this equation. So what is the value of 2? What is the value of a is given as 10. Into what is the value of s is given, s is nothing but height of the ball, that is equal to 20 equal to v square. What is the value of a u, that is nothing but 0 square. So therefore v square equal to 2 into 10, how much? It is equal to 20 into 20. Right? Therefore v square can be written as 20 square. Right? 20 into 20 is equal to how much? It will be equal to 20 square. So that square get cancelled. V equal to how much? It is equal to 20 meter per second. It is equal to 20 meter per second. It is the final velocity of that ball which is dropped from a height of 20 meters. Next, what we have to find out? We have to find out the time taken here. We have to find out the time taken here. How we are going to find out the time taken here? There are two formulas. That is nothing but a equal to v minus v divided by t. We can use that formula, or we can use the formula that is nothing but v equal to s divided by t. S divided by t. So then that is not the case. We are going to use the formula for the change in the velocity. That is nothing but we are going to use the formula. We know that a equal to v minus v divided by t. That is nothing but rate of change of the velocity for finding the time here. So then therefore t equal to what? T equal to v minus v divided by a. Don't use the formula, that is nothing but v equal to p equal to s by t. That is not correct. Our answer will be wrong only. So that we are going to use this formula only. That is nothing but a equal to v minus v divided by t. So that t equal to what? It becomes t equal to v minus v divided by a. So that t equal to what is the value of p? We have already found out, that is 20 minus 0 divided by how much? 10. Right? That is equal to 20 divided by 10. 0 get cancelled. It is equal to how much? 2. So that this question time taken is equal to how much? It is equal to 2 seconds. The time taken is equal to how much? It is equal to 2 seconds. So that finally we can write the answer as that time velocity of the ball at the point of striking the ground will be equal to how much? It is equal to 20 meter per second. In the same manner, time taken for the ball to strike the ground is equal to how much? It is equal to 2 seconds. So they are tried to statement to these two statements at the last of this solution of this problem. That is nothing but the ball has the velocity of 20 meter per second at this point of the striking of the ground, and it will going to take 2 seconds of the time to strike that ground. It will be the conclusion of your answer, and this will be the completion of your 7th question. I hope this is clear. What we have to do, we have to find out the final rule of using the formula that is nothing but 2as equal to b square minus u square. In the same manner, to find out the time taken, we are going to use the formula that is nothing but a equal to b minus u divided by t. These are the two formulas, and these are the answers for the 7th question. In the next class, we are going to discuss all the 3 questions which is going to come in this topic. Last 3 questions, 8, 9 and 10. So in the next class, we are going to discuss those things. Up to that point, thank you. Take care.